I'm super stoked about today because I had my vivid dreams and I didn't expect to go this deep. And of course, I've always say that and then I go somewhere completely crazily out there. So, and I have, and I did. So, okay, let me just collect myself because this is going to be different. All right. Okay, so today is vivid dreams. I'm gonna start out this dream with the basic fundamentals of how it started. So what I remember and how it started was I was with my brother and we were in a street and I was with my mom and my dad, and all of a sudden there was this train, and this train started to catch on fire, and it caught everyone's attention and mine. And normally when something like that happens, I like in today, like in the now, not in the dream, I would be like, okay, cool, and I'm always busy, so I'm just like, whatever, people will fix that. And but I was like into the fire. I was like, and so I'm absorbed in this dream with my brother and my mom and my dad, and I'm just feeling like, holy shit, this train's on fire. And then it starts to get bigger, and then this dream takes a whole different turn where it starts to explode, and for some reason this volcano from underneath it starts erupting under the train. So I guess that's why the train caught on fire. And then what happened was it started shooting out rocks. It was really weird how it started though. It was like the dream was like very wishy-washy. It was like it was first a boat, and then it was like a boat on a river or something, and then I was in like New York City kind of ish. It was like shifting and mixing up until it finally the train caught fire, and then it became more physical and it became right like now, and it was very focused, and it wasn't like very lucid. It was very like not very transcendental, I guess that's the word. I can't find the word. Whatever, you get the idea. Quasi, thank you. It was very real, very vivid, sorry. Once the train caught fire. And so, yeah, so it was spitting out these rocks, right? And these rocks were hitting everything around us, and it started to expand, these rocks, getting bigger. They were getting not only faster they're throwing, but they were getting thicker and bigger. And then I had to hide behind a tree. And this tree was massive, right? It's bigger than my tree outside, which is like 3 times from shoulder to shoulder. So no, that's not true. It's 2 times my shoulder. So this tree was about 2.5, so it was pretty big, right? That's pretty large. So a rock just went right through the middle, and I was like, holy shit, that just missed my head. It went right through the tree, and I saw the hole, right? Like it was like this. And so I ran to another tree, and it was like literally double the size of this tree, and it was starting to shake because the rocks just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger as this volcano started erupting. I don't know, it was wild. It was like, yeah, so to feel that was like, wow, it was like, I've never experienced that in my life. Any kind of danger like that. So that's what vivid dreams are, right? It's basically like you're in physical reality. You don't know, you feel like you're gonna die. So yeah, it was definitely, I wouldn't say scary, but it was definitely frightening, which is, I would say, is a different word than scary. It was frightening as in it was more exciting than scary. Scary as in like I want to get out of there. I was kind of like, wow, this is amazing, but super like, oh my god, I could die, like that. So it was frightening. And so the dream takes place where my brother and I, we got out of there, we escaped, and my brother and I don't know what happened next. It was how I got there, but my brother and I were talking, and all of a sudden the dream got lucid, and then quasi. So we had a conversation in lucid, and then got quasi, and then once it got quasi, this is when the dream picks up, and it got really different. really weird really fast. So, excuse me. I always eat before I do a video, and I always rush my food. And so, I started speaking a different language. And this language seemed first it sounded Arabic, but that it was very deep. So it was very different. And then it was alien because I knew it was not Arabic. This was not any language on earth. It was like dra, kra, shah, nak. It was so weird. It was like, but it was like deep. I can't, it was like, nach, nick, no, nah. I don't even know how to do it. But it was like really deep. And it was almost like this weird reptilian, I don't even know what that means, but it just felt like this weird reptilian, dark, deep language. Like it felt like some kind of weird, like you know those alien movies with those like reptilian guys, and they always speak from like this like no, doc, kind of weird shit. Yeah, like Doom, I guess, or something. I don't know. So it was like that, and so I was like, what the fuck, right? And so I heard this voice say, it was my higher self. It's always my higher self say, it said this name like Luctor, and I was like Luctor. It was like that, but it was close enough. It was close enough, like to Luctor. I was like, or maybe it was like Lantor, like something like that. We'll go with Luctor, and I was like Luctor, and it was like, I was like, what is Luctor? That's what I was just like talking to myself, like in the middle of my dream, right? And I was like in New York City, all of a sudden, like on top of a building. It was very odd. And this is vivid now, right? Not lucid, this is vivid. So I'm on top of like this New York City building, and I'm like, Luctor. And it's like, you're the god of thunder. And I was like, what? I was like, you mean, I was like, what? You mean like Thor? That's what I said. It didn't answer me back. My higher self didn't answer me. And so I was like, okay, so I'm a god of thunder called Luctor. I was like, that's very odd. So all of a sudden my hand started glowing bright, and I saw this bright yellow electricity, and I felt immense power. But beyond the power, I felt excitement. So this is now vivid. So I'm feeling this like right, I'm talking to you now, and I saw the light in my hand, but I felt the power on this New York City building, and I was like, holy shit, I can use thunder or lightning all of a sudden. And so, yeah, the dream moved very quickly, I see that. And so, like I said, on this building, I jumped off it because I was like, holy shit, I must be a god, I can't die, right? And then I realized I jumped off the building, I'm gonna fall and hit the ground, and I was starting to I was nervous for about 30 seconds, and my higher self was like, believe that you won't die. And so I said, okay. So I saw my hand get super bright, and I pushed the brightness down like this as I was falling, right? And somehow I slowed down, and the light, like the electricity, just like, it was like beyond gravity, and it slowed me down. And so I landed on the ground with ease. And that's when I was a superhero now, because I now had thunder and lightning, I could use it, and I felt excited now, not just powerful, but excited, and I felt like I couldn't die. And I knew I couldn't die, and I knew I could now control the environment around me in New York City. It basically felt like Spider-Man. It was like awesome. Yeah, so I'm just trying to see how this, like the feeling, I gotta get into it first, because once I get into the feeling, the images just start rolling so fast, like I can't even breathe. It's so quick, because I go into it, right? So, alright, so there's this gang, now I'm trying to save the city, and my lightning is so powerful that I can shoot beams of light, and I can turn into red hot energy, like pure light, but that I melt through walls. Like I become superhuman, I become supernatural. And so I'm at this crossroads where I have my friends with me, and these guys my friends are tied up, and these gangsters, kind of, but different kind of gangsters. It was like really cool. Like it was I don't know. So I can't even get into it. It was just really cool. It was like, wow. Like in this like dungeon almost, like underground brick house in New York City, and it was like underground. It was like this really cool world, and it was like almost sci-fi, but it was like real. So cool. And so anyways, I had this calling, this knowing that I had to save my friends, and I had to make a choice between, it was really weird, between saving my friends or killing the bad guys, but somehow by killing the bad guys it would kill my friends, but I would get a reward for it. And so obviously I chose to save my friends. And so I chose that, and all of a sudden I felt like alone, like I don't know how to explain it. So like I did everything I need to do, I saved the world or something, and I felt like I was stuck in this dungeon now, and I had nowhere to go with these powers, and my friends were waiting to get out because I'm the savior. And so I opened this portal because I can. And so I opened this portal with I'm beyond, I guess, God of electricity. I can do other things now, like multi-dimensional things now. And it's still a vivid dream. And so I opened this portal. And this portal puts my friends and I through another dimension. And when I land to this new dimension, I automatically knew that this was home. This was heaven and a different partake. It was heaven in my partake, but I knew that. It wasn't like this is heaven and it's like, oh my God, this is everything I want. I was conscious of knowing that this was heaven, even though I was still conscious of my dream. So I've been working on being more conscious of my vivid dreams, of knowing where I am and how I create. So I knew that this was my heaven, but I knew I could instantly change it within seconds. So it wasn't stuck. Like most people in OOBEs, near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences, are always in something and that's just their world and that's that. But I knew, so it was different, and so it felt like home, but it felt temporary. That's the word. It felt like this was not all that is. This was just a temporary flicker of one screen of what I wanted it to be, and I could totally change this into something else. But that being said, which is sort of redundant, I felt kind of like I was locked into it. Like I didn't feel that supernatural anymore. I felt, I was in it. So I was in it with awareness. That's the best way to explain it. And so I lit up the sky with my hand, and I saw the light come down, like in the middle of this world, and it just shone gold light down. And it hit midway of this universe I'm in. And my friends are like, they're waiting to go home. Like they have to go through their home, their universe, their planet, their godlike place. I don't know. So whatever that you want to call that, and their heaven. And so again, I speak this weird language, and then I shoot my hand up towards the sky, and then it shows this weird language. And I look at them, and they read it, and they know, and they start running towards it, and they disappear. So that was like the message of reminding them how to get home. And then I was completely alone in this world of beauty, but I didn't feel, I don't know how to explain it. So I'm walking through this world, and I'm seeing beauty everywhere. I'm seeing beauty, but I'm not feeling beauty within. I'm feeling lost. And so as I'm walking through this world, I pick up a flower that's like bright, and it's shining, it's crystallizing, it's beautiful. There's no words. So as I'm walking through, I finally get to the edge of this I would call a mirror of this reality, and it feels like the end. At the end of this dream, the end of my road, the end of this whole story I've been through. And I feel like I've been dreaming for the last 6 hours. I mean, I felt long. It felt super long. And so as I'm going to the end of this mirror, this dream, I I realized that my mission is over. It's complete, and so I feel. I look back and I realize, like everybody's gone. There's nothing left to do, and so it became this weird sort of like. It felt inside like everything just became gray, and I just like no longer felt. I don't know how to explain it. So I no longer felt connected or something, and so I was walking and I was feeling alone and I was feeling whatever, and so I found this cat. And there's this cat under this bridge, or this I don't know how to call it, and so like a sewer gate. It wasn't very thick. It was like a small bridge, like from like 3 feet, and it was just underneath the sewer gate. And so I looked at the cat and I saw its face, and it was like cut up and scarred, and it wasn't gross. It was like a beautiful looking cat. Like it was cute. Like it was a cat. If it wasn't scarred, you'd be like, oh my god, this is like a YouTube cat. You want to have this cat in your life. It's so cute. But I saw this cat as myself, and I saw the scars, and I saw the blood, and I saw what it wasn't more about the features and like being grotesque. It was more about how I saw it was like been hurt for so long, and it was alone for so long, and it was lonely for so long that it didn't even understand why it was alone for so long and by itself, and why everybody else had what they wanted, but why it was just constantly. And so this thing, when I reached down to love it and appreciate it, and because I felt all of a sudden, like I said out loud, I don't want to be alone anymore, right? I said I don't want to feel sad anymore. I don't want to feel this dark feeling anymore. I said I'm done. I'm over this, right? And so I grabbed the cat, and when I grabbed the cat, and I guess I was holding on too tight, or I was loving it too strong or something, but it died, and I was like, no, I killed the cat. I couldn't believe I killed the cat. And so this voice said, try again. And so I was like, try again. And so I went down, I grabbed it was like, it just restarted. It was like this like, like in the Matrix when the black cat goes by and it whines and it restarts and does it again, right? Like deja vu. So it just restarted again. And so I tried again. I saw the cat, and this time I held the cat, and I felt this dissolving, and then I died, and I was like, holy shit. So when I died, that's when the dream comes to its final standpoint, its end. And that's when I said, and I felt it in my heart out loud, I was like, I don't want to be this guy anymore. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be this warrior, this survivor, for no reason, just feeling pain and just feeling like I'm alone, and I'm scarred. Like that's the feeling. Like I've just been through scars. Like that's all I have is scars. I have nothing to show but scars. That's what it was feeling like. That was the whole feeling. And there was nothing there. It was like I had to go in. I had to go into it. And so that's when I automatically saw this illusion, which was the point of this dream, is that everything, I saw my belief system, and the belief system was, I believe that everything in life is just an illusion, and so it doesn't really have any characteristics. It doesn't have any real fundamental meaning to it. And I was like, I don't actually believe that, do I? And I was thinking about this while this is what I've been doing, right? I've been being more conscious of my dreams, but I saw how I could be present, noticing the dream play out, this new vision, the final end of my dream, while feeling my belief system. So it was like two parts of me. Like out of body. I don't explain it, but yeah. So as I'm watching this final ending of my dream take place, I see that there's this kid, me, in this New York City building, but it's like old-fashioned, and it's New York City at winter, and it's beautiful, and it's rich, and it's not poor. And there's this guy on a piano, and he's playing it, and he's playing this piano, and I'm in love with this guy, and he's my partner. He's my husband, or I'm his whatever. And I just felt this amazing connection to this guy, I felt this amazing love. Like this was like the guy this was like my soulmate. And I have never really felt that with anything in my family or friends. Nothing on earth I've ever felt that came to that close to love. And so I just felt like he was just constantly just playing the piano. He didn't care. He didn't care where I was, and I didn't care where he was. We were just like this one person just in the room. So we could do whatever. We could talk about whatever. It was amazing. And so it was weird though, because I was watching myself through the window of this building, of this old-fashioned building, and we were rich, and I saw the feelings that I was going through. It no longer became about the person I was or who I was with, just the raw emotion of this new life I was in, and it was like, wow. And so I had this belief in front of me, and it said, maybe you don't think that you could ever have someone who is like you because you think you're different, or you think you're more out there or expansive. And I was like, oh my God, that's so stupid. That's such a stupid belief. But I believed it, and I saw it in the dream. And when I woke up, I was like, holy fuck. I had to take like 3 seconds to just be like, I actually have beliefs that I don't think that I can have someone who is always changing, always noticing their surroundings. Because for instance, like my brothers I don't really have a close relationship with very few people in my family, because it's not a negative thing, but I am very different. I know that. I'm very expansive, and a lot of people don't get that. And I don't try to push on people, so I just walk away. But I never thought that I could have someone like me, who knows me, who is like me, and unconditionally loves the parts of me that no one even understands. And so I saw that, and I had to see it, because I never believed that would ever come true. I always thought if I get a partner, it would just be like, but this was it. I felt it. It was like two Sams in the room, but it was more expansive. It was more like me talking now. It doesn't even come close to what the new guy was. He was just open, didn't even have to try. So it's like I found me, it was amazing. So that was the end of the dream, and it was when I woke up, I realized my belief system was right in front of me, and they were saying, do you want to still believe that? Do you still want to be someone who thinks they're going to keep going beyond, but they can't have everything they always wanted, So I was like, no. I decided to change the belief. In that moment, I said, I do not choose to believe that anymore. I choose to believe that I can have a direct reflection of this new belief, which is that I obviously am lovable in a sense that I can be myself and still connect with someone who understands where I always come from. So that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that little story. I just ate, so I apologize for the interruptions in the video. And more importantly, I'm going to be doing a video every 2 days. So yeah, that's new. It just came upon me. I decided that that's something I feel very easy to do, very comfortable with, because I've been getting in this role of just waking up, going through these amazing dreams. I haven't even touched base with half of the dreams I've been through already. Some of them I can't even talk about because they're so detailed and they're so personal that I just don't think it's comfortable to say out loud. Even though this was very detailed, it was even deeper than that. I go through things that I can't even talk about. So that's why I'm making these videos. So I hope there's someone out there who, if they are going through something that is just like, why is no one even touching base on something that's so personal, that's so real, that's so vivid? So I hope if you're like me, then you have someone who you feel like you can relate to. All right, guys, have a good weekend, and I will probably see you guys tomorrow because I do not work out tomorrow. All right, I'm gonna head off to my business, and I wish you guys the most highest excitement in your day, and to continue forward with how you feel and always act on your highest excitement to the best of your ability. Thanks, guys.